And then once we go
have
live,
that instinct automatically. Because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Attack the boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. You like the way I switched that up? I'm over here, you over there.
You're getting fancy.
Oh my God. And then it has this virtual screen. You don't see that, do you? It's a vertical screen. You see that? You don't see it on your
I
you
see a
see it?
piece. Yeah.
On the left side, like over there, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Every time I turn around, they're doing something different on StreamYard. They're adding, like, they're doing this right here now. And I kind of dig it. Like, I'm telling you, this is dope. Let people start coming in. Oh, let me set up this right quick. Oh my goodness. Forgot about this one. Got to get them in too. Yeah, so I want to wait till some more people come in.
You got it.
And, yeah. Just to get this cracking. Anyway, how's everything going though? I'm gonna introduce you in a minute.
All right. Everything's going good. You know, just kind of been out here in Vegas for the last 9 years.
It's been that long.
It's been that long.
Wow. Wow. What made you go to Vegas?
You know what? To tell the truth, my dad, he was like, "Oh, dogs, you know, dogs could come and go. You don't know when dogs are gonna end. You don't know when people are gonna stop wanting to train dogs. If I were you, I'd go out to Vegas. I'd get you a house. I'd get you a job with a pension and a 401k and just be steady." That's what
That's
I
how
came.
you ended the.
Yep.
Now, where about in Vegas do you stay?
I'm in North Las Vegas.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
in North Las Vegas, and my shop it's like central in Vegas. It's right off of Flamingo and Decatur.
Where is greater?
Where it's greater.
Decatur, where is greater? Hey,
Yep.
people, I know you guys are coming in. I want to introduce a friend of mine, and I remember her when she was a young pup up there on the hill. Angela Patton. She's from Zenith K9. Now, listen, when I heard the name Zenith K9, yeah, I'm old school. I think of the TV brand called Zenith. You don't even remember that, do you?
No, I think you just aged yourself.
Wow. So, what came up? How did you come up with the name Zenith?
I was in college, and I'm sitting there in the English class, and I'm writing, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to use the word great anymore. Great's overused. I want a word that's synonymous with this. So I'm looking through the dictionary, I'm looking through the thesaurus, and I come across Zenith. I said, that's it. Greater than the highest peak, higher than all others.
Higher than great. Okay,
So
okay.
that's it. That's my business.
Well, listen, I'm glad you came on. We're gonna do an episode, people, with Angela Sunday. It's gonna be high flying. She's gonna test my dogs, two of my boys. She's gonna test two of my boys, and she's gonna see my new little addition, Gaston. And you tell me what you think about him, and give me some pointers on some luring and all that other stuff. Tell the people, like, who are you? Where are you from? And what got you into dogs? That's a loaded question.
That is a very loaded question. Who? So my name is Angela, as you just said. I'm originally from Los Angeles. I started training dogs when I was 13, and originally started training dogs with OJ, the canine coach. So
on the hill.
I was up on the hill with OJ, and I trained with OJ in a private capacity, in a personal capacity, in a professional capacity, all the way up until I left 9 years ago. So I've been in dogs for 25, 26 years.
Wow. So how did you meet OJ?
Fluke. Just a complete fluke. I was in the car with my parents and they were taking me furniture shopping. And of course, as a 13-year-old, I don't want to go furniture shopping. I mean, as a 30-something-year-old now, I always want to go furniture shopping, right? But as a 13-year-old, I didn't want to go. And we're driving up La Brea and I see these IGP blinds and I'm like, he's training. Oh my God, there's dogs. And I begged my mom. I was like, please stop. Please stop. We pull over and there was this guy out there and he's got all these dogs. I'm like, this is where I want to be. So we talked to him and OJ said, okay, well, if you want to train dogs, you're going to be out here every weekend training dogs. And I said, I'll be there. And I never left.
Wow. You know, the interesting part about OJ, Otis James Knighton, people. His name is Otis James Knighton. He's called the Canine Coach. He's had a lot of animals in movies that you guys probably didn't know. He's had Dell's Rottweiler in that movie Transformer. He trained that dog up to do that scene, and he did the dog Max too, didn't he?
Yes.
The dog Max. OJ trained that dog. OJ was on set giving those dogs commands.
Yeah. So if we want to take it further back,
further.
Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil,
and I saw him on CIS.
Yes,
yes, he was actually in it.
He was in it. He was in Bones. He was in True Blood.
Yes, he was in True Blood. That's right.
He was on an episode of The Dog Whisperer.
He was on True Bloods when they ate up when they sicked the dog on. He was in there. Yes.
Damn. Yeah. So
he never.
Way back.
Yeah, he didn't have a talking part, did he? He was just there.
He was just there. I don't know how he was there. He was just there.
I remember. That's right. True Blood.
Yep.
Damn.
And it would be funny because he'd come up to me. He'd be like, Angela, we've got this movie. And I was like, what? A movie? He was like, yeah, we're just going to do some dogs and they're going to climb up a wall. And I'm like.
He never tell you like what movie, did he?
What movie? And then we'd get on set and I'm like, well, and I remember, I'm like, I'm a teenager. So we'd get on set and he'd be like, don't say nothing to nobody. I'm like, okay, well, what do you need me to do? I need you to climb up there. I'm going to send this dog at you. And that's what we did. Next
thing you know, Denzel Washington popping out like, huh?
I'm like, wait a minute. My dad used to always be like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, I'm just here with OJ.
Wow. I remember, you know, I forgot how OJ started doing those, but I know Tim hits me up a lot of times too. But he hits me at the last minute, like, hey, this job is paying like $500. Can you make it? I'm like, bruh, you giving me a last minute? I'm like, and then here's the thing in the movie industry, people, that you don't know, is that they may have you call times at 10 o'clock. But you may not be hitting the stage until 5-6 hours later.
Yes.
So you're there all day.
Yes. It's a hurry up and wait.
Yes. So I want to appreciate you coming on. This is when I found out that was you, I was like, we're not even going to be going nobody else, Gypsy. We're going straight to you. Everybody. And I said, we're going to make this a partnership because I think that's the number one issue with new pet owners when they first get pets. They don't never research like, okay, who should I train a dog before they get the dog? They do that after. And then it's a trial and error. Like they go to a couple of trainers until they figure out like what they really want out of the dog. Now, some trainers will bullshit you, sandbag you, and lie to you and say, oh yeah, we can get this dog to do this. But every dog is not cut for every job, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's something to be said when like Al Benuelos. I've been rocking with Al for 14 years. One thing about Al, he will tell me, say, hey, Gerald, this is how he looks in the face. Gerald. And you know, he got the hands and shit like this because the shit, he's broken 800 bones in his body. He's like, Gerald, the dog, he ain't cut for IPO. He said he can't take pressure. And I trust what he says. I get rid of him. Because I say if a dog can make it through Al's boot camp, he's a tough dog. And listen, everybody knows that he's tough on dogs, like really tough on dogs.
Absolutely.
And I'm good with that, because the funny part is that when my dogs see me and they with him, they can't wait to get the fuck away from him. Because Al is not trying to build a bond with the dog.
No.
He wants the dog to do a task, and this dog gonna do this task. So when they see me, it's like, oh, I'm a step. Like, you remember how it's in school when the substitute teacher used to teach our class?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna act.
Oh, good. Substitute here, perfect. I'm gonna do whatever I want.
Yes. So that's what my dogs act like. I'm the sub now. Like, okay, now we can act up and we can be who we want to be. But I appreciate you coming on. So my questions are like, what type of training do you offer your clients in Vegas? Like, from what to what? Like basic obedience, advanced, on and off leash, sport work. What do you offer them?
All of it, right? So we go all the way from puppy to wherever they want to end. I even have a nonprofit for service dogs. So I've gotten into some service dog training for autistic children and sport work. So I left sport work, as you know, for a long time. And I was strictly into the pet and movie industry. And someone made a comment to me a couple of years ago, and they said there are no good trainers in Vegas. And I repeat, she said that there were no good trainers in Vegas. And I looked her in the eye and I said, okay, bet.
And she knew you was a trainer.
Yeah.
She knew you was in Vegas.
She knew I was in Vegas because she was in Vegas. She had a Beauceron. I have a Beauceron. We did a little meet and greet, and she's like, oh, okay, well, I think I'm done with Vegas because there's no good trainers here. I said, okay, bet.
Like forget who you're talking to.
Like, well, she doesn't know, but I also feel like, why do I need to tell you who I am? I'll show you. You know, I'm not about a lot of talk. I'll simply just show you. So I told her, I said, okay, I'll show you that there's someone in Vegas with the knowledge. I will show you that there is someone in Vegas that can competitively compete, not just compete, but competitively compete. And I'll show you that's also someone in Vegas that can get other people to competitively compete.
So I remember OJ before he got ill, that he was doing Mondio, because at some point, I think in your heyday, wasn't he the president of a PSA club in LA?
Yes. So OJ is essentially the reason why PSA exists on the West Coast.
Mm. And OJ stopped the PSA, and then he just went to group classes only, and he was doing the AKC evaluators. You know, I'm an AKC evaluator too. I'm like, OJ, hey, listen, you got to get your money. And then I remember the time when Bernard Parks, because he lived around there, was having the park police look around. I'm like, the dogs are on leash here, bro. And then they started adding benches in the field to keep the dogs out.
Around.
That didn't work.
It didn't, because then we started using the benches as props.
Yes.
He said, okay.
So like, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now we have another obstacle for our dogs to get over.
Yes. And then he got into Mondio. Which sport did you participate in?
Both.
Really? But whoever's texting you, they blowing you up. They blowing you. You know, I hear that vibration. But no, so you did PSA. Which dog did you do it with, and what level?
So my main dog was Psycho at that time. So I did Psycho.
Oh. Was that a Mallee or a Dutch?
It was a Mal.
Okay.
And then we got Psycho into the twos.
Hold on. OJ had a Mal named Dude.
Yes.
He was a tall Mallee.
That dog, he was a slow dog, but that once he caught you, he bit.
How about Hannibal?
Hannibal. And then we also had Cannibal.
Cannibal. It was Cannibal and Hannibal?
It was Cannibal.
A
Fully named A bully named Hannibal, and the Dutch named Cannibal.
Cannibal. That was his dog. Cannibal was his boy.
Cannibal was the best.
So you guys, so what level did you take your dog up to in PSA?
We got Psycho up to the 2s.
The second leg too?
Yep, we completed 2. We competed the 2. I won a couple of nationals with them.
Hold on. How that guy do it on Instagram? No, really?
Yeah, so we got his 2, won a few nationals. OJ acted like he was mad at me because I beat him out of one of the nationals. So I beat him and Cannibal with Psycho.
You beat your own team member.
So he pretended like he was mad. But he wasn't. He was all proud.
It's something to say about it when a parent trusts her daughter with a grown man to train on the hill, knowing that grown man is really there to make her a better person in what she wants to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that many mentors out there no more like that.
No, but not only did she trust him with me up on the hill, I traveled with OJ. We went everywhere. We were out of state. My mom's like, okay, call me when you're there.
Now, OJ didn't have any daughters, did he? He had a son. He has a son. Yeah. You're his daughter.
Yes. Essentially, yes. He's the second dad.
Yeah. I remember, I met OJ through a guy named Cleeman Thompson. Cleeman had a Roddy. And remember, my first dog was a Dobie.
Yes.
And I had 2. And I bought those 2 from people here in California, in LA. The first one, one of them in LA. One I bought from Percy Bickerstaff. That dog was tall, but he was whack as shit. He had no drive. I didn't even know what drive was. And then I bought a female from a place called Arizona Dobermans. I forgot what her name, but it was like 14 years ago. And she was skittish. Had no reason to be skittish. Nobody never beat her. And I remember when I picked her out from a picture, she was far back. You could tell she was way back here. And the camera took a picture that distance. And I asked the breeder, I said, why is she so far back? Why are you not up on close up and personal taking pictures? And why do you have her still? Oh, she was going to be a breeding female. Now I know why. The female was skittish. And I made a post about that, about a skittish dog in the beginning is going to be a skittish dog forever.
Absolutely.
And I got so much heat. I said, fuck y'all, because here's the deal. I don't know one AKC, I don't know one canine trainer on your level, Angela, or lower, will take a Malinois that is skittish. Oh, we're going to work on that. No, you won't. Because that's an extra layer of rehabilitation that you're going to have to work on. And it's going to come back in the dog at some point or another, whether you apply pressure or compulsion on this dog, it's going to come back. And then he's going to revert right back to that skittish shit. You can't train that out of nobody, out of no dog.
Genetics rule.
Yeah, genetics rule. And I got a lot of heat from saying, I said, Zeke from Documentary interviewed me in first of all, shout out to Zeke Documentary. He's plugged me for a lot of stuff. Without him, you guys probably wouldn't know who I was, because I was like millions of views because I'm a Dobie guy. And I said a thing in the back of my backyard. This is about 5 years ago, because I had just moved to my new house. And I said, a skittish dog in the beginning is going to be a skittish dog in the end. I said, you can't change that. That's genetic. I said, that's just like me. I'm black. I'm not going to change colors. I'm going to stay black. I was born black. I'm going to die black. I may get darker, but I'm going to die black. And people gave me heat behind it. I was like, yo, man, it's like, no, serious talk. It's like, you can't outbreed that.
You can't outbreed it. You can't out-train it. And, it might be a good dog for a pet. It might be a good dog for someone, but that's
Uh-huh.
not a good dog for breeding, and it's not a good
Right.
dog for competition work.
And you know
Why
what's
put
fun?
that stress on that dog?
Right. And you know what's weird is that I get that people see for a pet that you adopt or was given to you or you paid minimum amount, you probably might accept that skittishness because you want just a pet. And I'm sure that dog has he checks the boxes on other things. But for me, Gerald, how they call it? I asked Gypsy. I said, "What?" I said, "Gypsy, what's my name?" She said, "Gerald, motherfucking Antoine." Right? For me, I'm not going to be a stud guy, and I have that genetic marker in my bloodline as a skittish dog. It's enough of me. It's already hard enough for me to match these dogs up genotype wise to get some working shit on Dobies nowadays. Everybody's not everybody. A lot of people are breeding Dobies for the show and not the go.
Right.
And I remember this is a good point. I remember when I had that red chocolate Dobie named Alonzo that I imported from Hungary.
Yep.
It was my first real dog, really real dog. OJ said something that resonated with me. And Alonzo must have been no more than 7, 8 months. OJ said, "What you gonna do with that dog? You got to get him titled." I was like, "Why?" That's what I thought mentally.
Right.
But then now I know the reason why he said that, and the reason why I stamp every stud I have in my camp, they have to be working on or have a protection title. Because
Absolutely.
for me, listen, there's a lot of great studs out there. A lot of better looking Dobermans than mine. I'm sure of that. Right. But what sets me apart from them is that my boys are proven on the field. Now,
Yes.
can they be proven genetically wise? Well, they're still making babies right now. That remains to be seen, right? I mean, right now they've proven that they can accentuate a lot of litters and make them nice. But how are they on the field? Can they take pressure? And I'm not talking about pressure of just doing this shit repetition. We're talking about physical pressure with being physically uncomfortable. A lot of dogs break under that.
Absolutely.
So where did you go to college at?
Dominguez Hills.
Okay, around the block from me. You
Right.
graduated what year? 20 what? What year you finished?
29. Sorry.
Okay.
Woo. 2009.
Yeah, 2009. Okay. And I graduated in 94. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Before OJ, before the other OJ went crazy. The month before the other OJ. I'm not, but I digress. So for me, a title on a dog that I own is equivalent to a bachelor's degree. They can't take it from them. It cannot ever get suspended. That dog can die and he'll still have that degree.
Absolutely.
And
It's
just
something
like
that can't be taken.
that's right. My dad's a physician. He's a plastic surgeon. Googling people, Dr. Gregory Alfred Antoine. They can suspend his medical license. They could put him in jail for not putting some. As a matter of fact, he put a lot of people's limbs and nose and shit back on when he was department head. You can Google it. He's department head of Boston Medical Center during the Boston Marathon bombing. He could put your nose back on, but they can never take his medical degree. You can take his freedom. You can't take it. And so for me, the reason why I spend money to get these dogs titled, because I used to handle my own dogs when I had time, is because that's what set my boys apart. Like, okay, yeah, you got a better looking dog, but let my girl Angela come down here and crack this whip. Is he gonna scoot back and bark, or is he gonna move forward and lunge?
Right.
Does he want to commit?
Is he
to the
going to
bite?
commit? Is he going to bite? Is he going to bite a woman?
Yes.
without a bite suit.
Yeah.
Without a sleeve. We're going to see how civil you are. And we're going to do it while we have you staked out. We're going to have a prawn activated on your ass.
Yeah.
You got to work through that prawn.
Yeah. Got to work through it. And you have to figure it out. A dog has to have enough heart. And that's what OJ used to say. He like, I don't care about anything else. I don't care about how the dog looks. I don't care about how flashy this dog's obedience is. I care only about what that dog's heart does. When that dog goes to fight, how much fight is he giving you back? And that's it.
And it's never really the size of the dog. It's the size of the fighting the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I remember like Kristen, you know, Kristen, who used to train with Oscar.
Yep.
He has what is this? To me, let me read this. To me, can you read that for me? I got my glasses on, but I don't want to read right now.
It says, to me, what needs to happen with females, bro, depending on who you talk to, a large part of the DNA comes from the dam. So why not prove the mother? In my opinion, that's where working breeders are going wrong.
Narvel Muhammad, I get your point, but I'm a stud guy. So the likelihood of me finding a female that is proven or has the potential are 2 out of 10. Now, Gypsy, we got 2 of them, one of which named Drama Queen. She was just dialed in for her ZTP and her IGP 1A. And that's when Gypsy pulled her and bought her. And I saw the work without bite suits with the pressure, and she's going for the leg. She's dirty. And so we just bred her for the second time, for the third time today, because Gypsy headed back to Vegas. Third time today with Cisco, who you're gonna meet too. Who you're gonna listen. I want your honest opinion when you come out here and fuck with these dogs. And I don't want you to be kind. Huh?
No. There's no room for kindness in dog training. It's just honesty, pure honesty.
So what was I going with this? Help me out. You're co-hosting.
I don't even know.
Yeah, so
now I'm focused on females. And in my honest opinion, a lot of trainers don't deal with female dogs because they're sensitive.
I don't know about that though. I've seen some.
They're handler sensitive. Right. So female dogs take a little bit more. And if you're looking for a dog to push, a lot of those females aren't going to take it. Not saying that they're soft, not saying that they're going to submit, simply saying that they're going to be like, I'm not taking this. So you have to train a female a little bit differently. Now, I like a female dog. If I see a real nice female dog, probably coming home with me. But to take the time between training and breeding, it's kind of like like a balancing act, right? Which one do you want to do? Do you want to train or do you want to breed? Because if you get a nice female, your goal is usually to produce nicer dogs.
You know I'm getting you a female out of this litter, right? They're born in 1st of January. You know that, right? You got this. You got room for one more dog for you, right?
I always have room for a nice dog. Okay. Always.
That's going to be a demo dog.
All right.
Drama Queen. Just talk to Gypsy and say, yeah, we're going to, because Dobies are coming back again. I mean, I made them popular, but listen, this dog business is $1 billion a year business.
Yes.
That means there's multiple lanes. I'm just in mine over here. Right. I never protest that I'm a dog trainer. I'm not a dog trainer. I'm not a certified decoy. I've been in clubs. I'm a part of clubs, and I've actually titled and trained. Well, I didn't train my own dogs. I trained my dogs in a club with Wolfgang, and I've handled my own dogs. But I am not a dog trainer. I know how to train dogs, but I stick to mine. Right. So I'm not gonna. I tell people all the time. I can go to the airport. People say, "Oh yeah, you that dog trainer. You that dog." I'm not a dog trainer.
No.
So no, you won't catch this on no platform that I'm a dog trainer. Now, do I know how to train dogs? after being around you and Lewis and David and Oscar and Al and Larry Hansen, I should have learned something.
I hope so. I hope
God
everybody takes
damn.
something away.
Yeah,
You've been around all of us.
Adrian Santano, Yachty. I mean, goddamn, I'm just Leonard. So let me tell you a little story about that too. So let me tell you how I went from OJ's class to Lewis' class. So Lewis had the other end of the field.
Yep.
So, you know, Lewis and OJ used to work together, and then they separated and did their own thing. And what Lewis used to do, this doctor named Dr. Bill Relaford, you heard of him? The foot doctor. Okay. Bill had a Doberman named Musa. Very beautiful, very powerful, very serious dog. When I mean serious, he's serious. Like, he was a mean dog. And when he did things with that parachute on, Lewis would put a dumbbell at the other end of the field and hold Moose in a down position with that parachute on and make him run. And then he'd be going through like the outer side of OJ's class. OJ would say, "Hey man, get your dog." Look, OJ would call a motherfucker out like, "Yo,
in a heartbeat, quick."
Yeah. And you got to respect that. And then David started coming around. I said, "Dave, you got a nice looking pit bull, man."
Oh, he could be so mad as a Corso.
Connie Corso. Like, dude, the dog is a miniature Connie Corso.
The smallest little Corso I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And mean.
Yes.
Oh,
and,
that dog was mean.
But I was getting to that David part. David used to train with Oscar. David has a Rottweiler. I forgot the dog's name. It ain't Lupe or something. It's something else. I forgot. But that Roddy is undersized as far as breed standard, but man, he's got a heart of a lion. I think it's an IGP3 dog now.
Yeah, from what I know.
So what do you think about, so let me ask you a question. So if somebody come to you and say, "Hey, I want to get my boy ready for a PSA PDC," could you do that? And could you find a trial to put him in where you're the handler as well?
Yeah.
So I'm asking these questions in third person.
Listen, as long as the dog has the go, then I have the way. You know, and that's all it is. It's time, it's commitment. I have a dog here right now that's for person protection. It's a nice, beautiful, big Roddy.
Really?
This dog is nice.
Is he serious though?
Oh, he's a serious dog. He's the dog that my shop's not necessarily in the best, most pristine neighborhood. He's the dog that I take outside with me to take trash out when it gets dark. You know, I don't want a dog that I can't take and feel safe. You know, like I have 2 dogs here. My Mal, I don't feel safe with. My Mal is like, no sleeve, no bite. So guess what's going to happen? We're either going to make you serious or we're going to find you a new couch. You know, just because you have a certain breed doesn't mean that breed is a representation of what you want.
Yeah.
So I have a German Shepherd and a Roddy that are both here for person protection training.
These are clients' dogs.
These are clients' dogs. So either they perform or I'll be honest with my client and say, "Hey, you got the wrong dog. Let me find you a new one."
And they get a little butthurt when you tell them that. Tell the truth.
All the time. All the time. But I'm not in the business to lie to someone. And I'm not in the business to create something that's not there. And that's the issue with dog training right now, is that they'll sell someone a Honda and label it as a Porsche.
And you know, the unfortunate thing is that some trainers will rather lead you on because they need that money every month. And I get it that, you know, you need that money along with other clients' money to be sustainable. But I think they will respect you a whole lot more in the long run if you speak the truth with true contrition. You know what I'm saying? Like, be truthful about it. And I had to cut, because you end up, well, in the breeders' world, they call it kennel blindness.
Yeah.
Right. But in my world, it's like a reality check. You know, because I have to lean on a guy that trains my dog every day, he's telling me what he's made of. Now, it's one dog that Al told me I should get rid of. I was like, fuck that. No. And that's my Roddy. My Roddy had a problem. He had a BH who was going for the IGP one, but he likes to play around too much. And he was like only 2 still. Like, oh, these boys take a while to mature.
Time to mature.
He's serious now. And I said, he ain't going nowhere. Because if anybody, there's 2 dogs I know for a fact that will cut the fuck up. Like, civil as hell. They don't care. You come in that backyard, it's go time. It's Cisco, who you will meet, and Brutus. I may bring Brutus out, but I don't want your arm to get hurt, so I may keep him at home. I just bring the Dobies. So let me ask you this. Right now, how is the business of first of all, I gotta let people know this. Hey, people, if you guys want to get in contact with Angela and you're in the Nevada area or Las Vegas area, you can find her on Facebook as Zenith K9, or as usual, Instagram, because Instagram is owned by Facebook and Facebook is owned by Instagram. It's called Meta at Zenith_K9. But guess what, people? What's important? Because these 2 right here is just rented space. People can, Meta can say, oh, your website, it violates the community rules. Guess what she has? She has a website. So yes, the website. And you know what's weird about that is how fashion repeats itself. So now, remember 2 or 3 years ago, the big thing for Instagram was reels. Now they're going back to post versus the reel, where they just slide and look. Have you noticed that?
Yep.
So like, it was just like, yeah. So people now are going back to websites because now they're so intuitive, and you can link them up to Shopify and all this other goofy stuff. And like, it's really weird. Let me ask you this: what is the percentage of clients that you have or had that bring you a dog and say, I want this dog to be a personal protection dog, and you test the dog like, yo, man, it's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know. And then they still say, well, just let them bark. Because, now people are, and that's Smokey calling me right there.
Hey, Smoke.
Yeah. So now people are buying these, I call them designer dogs now, fashion dogs, Cane Corsos.
Yes.
And some of these Cane Corsos are not the Cane Corsos of 30 years ago. They were serious dogs.
No, they're not. They're not the same. They're not the same dog anymore. I'll tell you, I had a guy a couple of months ago come in with his Corso for an eval. And he was mad. He was very, very mad at me because I told him, I said, okay, come into my shop. I'll test the dog. I'll see exactly what you want. And we'll go from there. So he walks in and dog hides behind him. The dog gets behind him.
Bad sign number 1.
So I said, okay, I don't necessarily like where this dog's head is right now. I don't like the language he's showing me. Let's take him over here where it's quiet. There's no other dogs barking. Let's just see what he does. So he brings him out. Dog is still hiding behind him. So I don't even evaluate the dog. I tell him, hey, this dog isn't what you think he is. He goes, oh, okay, I've got a puppy from that dog. I tell him, okay, that puppy has the same genetics as this dog. So he probably is going to have the same issue. Let's get you a new dog. Like, if you want a Corso, I got a Corso guy. I know a guy who has Corsos. Let's get you one of those Corsos. Let's just start from fresh. He's big man. No, absolutely not. He goes home. He calls me. He's like, hey, I talked to my wife. We don't necessarily think it's true. We think that because the dog wasn't comfortable in the environment, he didn't perform like we wanted. And I told him, a dog should perform wherever the environment is.
Right.
So guess what he wanted me to do? He wanted me to break into his house just to see what the dog was going to do.
But let me ask you this though: break into the house, and he's never did that scenario before.
Never done a scenario before. The dog's not trained for it. The dog doesn't know how to bite, when to bite, where to bite. None of it. So I told him, I said, what's the point of me breaking your dog? I said, because if I break, and it's not ego, but it's a little bit of ego. If I break into your house, I'm coming in with no bite suit. And I'm going to see exactly what your dog is made of. He was like, well, you're going to.
This is getting good.
He said, well, my dog's going to bite you. And I said, now I bet you $1,000 that your dog will not touch me. So he was like, well, why would I do that? I bet you $1,000 that if I break into your house right now, if I drive to your house, break into your house, your dog's not going to touch me. Your dog's going to pee on the floor, run out that back door, and never want to come in the house again. So he didn't take me up on the offer, unfortunately.
Did you hear that sound effects? You like that? But that goes to tell you that the owner didn't know what he was suggesting, how detrimental mentally that would be to his dog.
Absolutely. But I also told them, no, I'm not in the business of breaking dogs. I'm not in the business of breaking dog spirits. And I'm a woman, so I'm a little sensitive, and I feel bad. I feel bad if I have to run a dog. I feel bad if I have to break a dog. And then I feel like I need to build that dog back up. But the amount of time it's going to take me to build that dog back up is the same amount of time it's going to take me to create a new personal protection dog.
Versus building the dog up from the beginning.
Exactly.
Building his courage up, his confidence, teaching him how to bite properly. That's another thing too. People think that dogs naturally know how to bite. You got to teach the dog how to really bite from the rear.
Right. And I believe in building a foundation of understanding. How do you bite? Where do you bite? Why do you bite? When do you bite? So if that dog does not have that foundation, that understanding, those building blocks, then we need to go back to the beginning. We need to go back to the very beginning of basics of, okay, let's understand one thing. This is why you bite. We need a full mouth every single time, no excuses. This is why you bite. If I attack your owner, this is why you bite. If I give you that command, this is why you bite. So there's 1,000 different things and 1,000 different. I'll ask that Roddy. And he was 7 months. That was his first time on that suit.
7 months acting like that already?
Yup. Now he's a bit older, so he has a better of an understanding of exactly how to bite. But I just wanted to see what he was going to do.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Exactly.
He committed. So let me ask you this. With the population, the influx of people moving to Vegas every month, every week, every year, do you think a lot of these dogs are geared for that intense heat?
No.
To even do training? So is that why you have an indoor training facility?
Yes. That heat, before I had the facility, we took the summers off, or we trained late at night.
Mm-hmm.
And your progress lacks. Right? You can't make any real progress if you're having to take extended breaks between training sessions, and you can only really train in the fall. And I'll tell you, even right now, it's what was it, 82 out here today?
Mm-hmm.
If I have a big Corso or that big Roddy and he's working too long, he's going to overheat.
Because they don't sweat.
Nope. So you have to protect your dogs, and you have to protect your dogs at all costs. So that's the biggest motivator I had for this facility.
So people, I'm letting you guys know right now, Angela is going to be a part of the next episode. We got to come up with a name, but Miles is good at coming up with titles.
Don't ask me, because I'm not good at coming up with titles.
Yeah, Miles is going to do it. Oh, somebody's saying, hey, Angela, hey.
Hey.
But no, people, and what's crazy is that I haven't did an episode where it was just me in a long time, just me. I'm always doing episodes where I'm traveling out of state, out of the country, talking to different, we're going to get on that too, talking to different breeders, just giving people a chance to be on a platform, just like what Zeke did for me, right? Just give people the opportunity. And I said, Miles, man, you know, we're winding down at the end of this year. I said, we got to do something. He said, well, we're thinking about bringing, since I got all 3 Dobies at home right now, we're going to do a video of all 3 Dobies. He said, you will be in the middle with the puppy and the 2 boys will be standing on one side and the other. I'm like, I don't know about them that close, but we're going to play with it. And then I have a female Dobie that's off of my bloodline on both sides. The mama and daddy has my old school lines. My Brody and Alonzo, her name is Zara. He's going to bring her up here too. Now, if Donnell and them over there South Bay Malawat says she's a serious bitch, and she's only 7 months old, she's a serious bitch. Because you know, brothers in the hood, their level of excellence or their level of good dogs is based off of what they have.
Right.
You know, and if your dog is not showing potential to be to that level, then you know, you better get you a bull hurdler, get you a Malawat, get you a Dutch, or get you a Dutch Mallee. You know what I'm saying? But I love that because they're setting the bar high. So when I remember I was telling a guy that I used to rock with up until recently, I said, yeah, man, Donnell and Caleb really like this boy Titus. They really do. I said, man, that means a lot to me because you can't impress those guys with shit. And when I told him, he said, oh, man, you go there, man, you can let the motherfuckers, they impressing you. You're impressed. That don't mean nothing. I said, no, dude, that's everything to me. Because if they're passing their smell test, then they're going to pass anybody else's smell test. Now, have we worked on some obedience? We didn't at that time. But the motherfuckers got Titus dialed in on that foundation. Like civil, boom. Table work, boom. Pushing forward, not pulling backward, boom. Staying focused, boom. Not flinching, everything. Like we could have put a PDC on this dude. All we had to do is teach him how to out. We ain't worked on that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather a dog bite than out.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Titus dialed in. He'll be 2 in 2 months. Serious. Cisco, insane in the membrane. I would say he gonna give any Malawat hell on that field. Like he's just that dog, right? I'm not saying because of mine, because I've had some shit dogs that I got rid of that you didn't know about because I got rid of them before you knew about them. Right? But people, we're gonna do an episode, and we're gonna talk about it. It's kind of cool. Now I ain't gotta go to Vegas because I was thinking about coming to Vegas and do one with you. I'm like,
no, you still gotta come to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to Vegas. Yeah. I got somewhere to stay anyway, so I'm gonna come to Vegas, and we're gonna do that. But here it's gonna be pretty dope. You know what? Sunday 9:30. Bring some equipment. I got equipment here too, but bring your shit.
Bring some of my equipment. Yep.
Yeah. And but no, I'm glad that you are doing what you love to do. It's so many times when you get young teenagers that get misguided and they get influenced by the wrong things, right?
Right.
So when you get with somebody that's, and this is another thing, mentorship and mentoring, man, this ain't Dothan, Alabama. This is LA. You know, people who mentor you may not be mentoring you for the right reasons. You know, this right here was a match made in heaven because OJ, we know where he's going after he leaves this earth because he's touched a lot of people, dog. A lot of people.
And a lot of people. A lot of people that I consider great trainers he's touched. Yes. And that's something to be said. Absolutely.
You know, and for us to have been blessed to be around him this long is really good. And I still like, you know, they was, you know, the city was fucking with them on the hill and he couldn't, you know, the money had to be set up as a donation and all this other goofy stuff. I'm like, this dude is teaching people how to have control of the animals.
Right. And that's beneficial wherever, regardless of however you see it.
Yeah. What do you see? You know what I bet you don't see? You don't see a lot of people coming in and getting Frenchies trained, do you?
No, you know what? I have this one Frenchie that comes in, and I keep telling her too. I'm like, this dog needs to be on some bite work. She's like, oh no, I'm already afraid of him. I'm like, exactly. That that dog gives everyone a run for her money. I'm like, he's gonna be fun. He would be fun. I'd love to do bite work with him.
Somebody said Zara is some serious. Yeah, Zara is serious, man. And we got her health test back from Embark, clear, cool. Let me ask you this. This is my opinion, and I asked this with Garrett yesterday. I know you was busy where you couldn't watch him. And say, what is it? What are the main? Let me see. House of Anubius asks, what are the main basics of building confidence for a dog to do and go into PSA? I'll let you answer that. I'm gonna keep this question right here. Go ahead.
So I'd say the biggest thing with PSA is keeping obedience with your dog fun. Um, I don't. I'm One thing OJ always told me is that we're not training for a PDC. We're not training for a one. We're training for the two. And once you get into those levels, there's decoys on the field. There's more than just balls and tugs and toys on the field. There's decoys on the field agitating your dog. And if you don't have a relationship with your dog, if you haven't built up some kind of tug play drive for your obedience, that dog's confidence isn't there and his trust isn't there with you in obedience. His main focus is going to be to bite the decoy. And I see so many people go wrong by just doing compulsion training and never rewarding and rewarding with you or rewarding back to tug, rewarding back to ball. So build confidence through that.
Other person says, "Don't do it. Garbage. They're they're too scattered breed. There's no one in the country that has been able to produce consistent working dogs in the presser community. Depending on who you talk to, I had a top 3 working female in the country. Before her, I probably had 20 presses. So he probably went through 20 presses.
Presses to get the one.
That's
And
bananas.
presses are another one. They're just like the Corso right now. They're super popular. They're big, pretty dogs. They're intimidating, but they breed for the look. You breed for the look of the dog. You miss out on the heart of the dog. You miss out on the entire genetic purpose of what the dog is supposed to be.
That's how I feel. So let me ask you this. Let me see. How do we do this? I got to add these sound effects. So let me ask you this. So I feel protection training is really obedience training. Let me
Yeah.
expound on that. When you're doing protection training, really good protection training, you are exposing your dog through all different type of distractions to make sure he doesn't have tunnel vision.
Right.
You are desensitizing him to the obvious environments that can distract him, whether there's kids, another dog running across the street, a cat or ball or squirrel, something that would trigger the dog to want to go after it.
Yes.
You're teaching the dog how to be clear in the head during when his instincts kick in to do the opposite.
Exactly.
When you're doing nothing but obedience, you're only training him to stay in a certain demeanor. Stay down, sit, heel. You're not training him like you throw a ball. He may stay down, but let's say somebody walks towards him in a fast pace and they're just trying to get a can of paint out of Home Depot. Or the way that person may walk, or the person may have a cane.
Exactly.
Which, walking with a cane with a gimp. You know how we used to walk with brothers used to be cool. We used to walk like that, right? Right? Like we had a third leg.
Limp. Yep.
Yeah, limp. Hibbity hop. A dog that's not used to that may say, "Oh, this is weird. Let me fire up." My mama didn't tell me don't do it. My mama's right here. She said, she ain't saying don't respond. She ain't saying leave it.
So it must be okay. So with protection dogs and my sport dogs, I'm painting a picture. right? I'm painting a picture of exactly what I want the dog to be and what I want the dog to see. So that means I need to show the dog 1,000 different scenarios, 1,000 different ways, in the same picture over and over and over again before it becomes clear in the dog's head. It's not just a let me show you a guy in a walker one time and one time only. It's let me show you this guy in a walker. Let me show you this guy in a walker running away. Let me show you this guy in a walker walking towards us. Let me show you this guy in a walker walking that way. And that's where a lot of people are going wrong. You know, our dogs shouldn't be just at a down and robotic and not thinking. A dog absolutely has to think. He has a job, he has a purpose. But also, I'm going to show you a guy with the walker attacking me and using the walker to fend you off. So we paint a picture. We show the dog the picture. We show the dog a picture 1,000 different times, 1,000 different ways. And keep going and keep going and keep going. And now that the dog understands, okay, this is what it is, now the game changes. This is what it could be.
But he's seen this show before. I've seen this before.
Seen the show, but it's a different episode.
It's a different episode. But when he's dialed in and trained under the protection training, I've seen the show before. I know when I do what I'm supposed to do, if my daddy said OPA, I got to turn back around.
Then I heal.
Let me tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. But also what? Go ahead.
But also, we need a dog, especially a protection dog, to be able to think and say, okay, well, he said OPA, but this guy just pulled a gun on me. Now what? So the dog has to have some type of ability to think on its own, has to have some type of ability to make a choice and a decision for itself that goes against what you just asked them to do. We have to be able to trust our dogs to do that. Scenario
over and over. Let me tell you what happened one time. So not the same guys that I tell you, like over there in Compton. It was Malcolm. He was living. Rest in peace, Malcolm. Master K9. And they had some kind of movie crew out there. It was this guru military guy who's K9 military guru guy, beige looking brother. He looked the part. He spoke with King's English. He was very garrulous and loquacious, and Malcolm had this container, this metal container, like a 18-wheeler container, but it's like a half of an 18-wheeler. And he sent Prowler all the way up on the container, biting a guy on top of the container. I'm like, who the fuck is biting 2 stories up? I don't know, but looks good for TV.
Right.
PJ, I don't know, PJ moved out of state, but PJ had a dog. The dog was dirty. So if a guy had a bite suit on and the guy didn't have a mask, the dog tried to bite the guy's face. So the guy said, fuck this, I'm gonna put a helmet on. He had a helmet. And so we were all sitting under the tent, the shaded area over here in Compton, same field where Sykes runs now, over here off of El Segundo. And the guy said, Lee was there, Lewis was there, everybody was there. And if you fuck up, they're gonna ride your ass.
Yes.
They're not gonna let you forget it.
Never.
And I had worked with Lewis and other trainers on this scenario over and like what did Marshall Lynch say? Over and over and over and over again. The scenario. So the guy had he had the bike suit on. He didn't have the pants on. And Alonzo just got through doing a brevet. Yeah. And so the guy said he had his mask on. He had the bite mask on because after PJ Dog tried to get him in the face, he was like, I'm not doing this. And the whole camera crew's out there recording this. And I wish I knew who the guy was. Because I showed a video of that shit too. And He said, whose dog here? And remember, a lot of those guys' dog has one speed in one direction.
Yep.
That's forward. No out.
Yeah.
And somebody wants to get out their crate, don't
it? Exactly.
And I said, he said, who has a dog here that if you send him and recall him before he gets to me? I was like, me? So I volunteered for that. So the guy at the other end of the field ain't that big, but it serves its purpose.
Right.
He was like, he got the little clatter stick with the crack in the whip. He said, send him. And I said, Alonzo, attack. The dirt was kicking up. And he told me to recall him before he got there. I said, Alonzo, OPA. Boom. He went behind the decoy, came back to me, and boom, got right there in the hill position. We were like this. That dog got me out of depression. That dog made me more proud of him than pissed me off. Yep. Of course, he shit in his crate after I got through walking him for an hour before it pissed me off. Of course, he's done that. Of course, he whined. Of course, he whines all the time. But I didn't have to raise my decimals. And here's the deal. Like Oscar Morris said, the tonality matters. You can't be using high tones all the time on every command because they're going to say, man, you just yelling. Yeah. I'm used to this.
He's yelling. I'm used to this. It has no effect. He was like, okay, right. You went here. I can go here.
Right. So when I recalled him at a high tone, he knew I was serious. And I had no e-collar on him either. He was naked. Well, he wasn't naked. He had a prong on, but he was off leash. Boom. And that's what I said. That's control.
Absolutely.
And from that point, I say, this makes a lot of sense. Because at one particular time, he almost cost me my livelihood when he got out the front door. I always tell people, I say, hey, it's not if your dog gets out of the house or out of the yard, it's when. Yep. And the question is, will he listen to you when it happens?
It'll be that time that you like.
And you ain't gonna have your e-collar in your hand all the time.
No, you can't rely on it. I mean, I get e-collars all the time from clients, and I'm like, oh, hey, this is broken. I'm like, yeah, you probably overcharged them.
And the thing is, the e-collars are for training purposes, not daily usage. Like, no. Oh yeah, you bark too loud, boom. I said, if your dog has a barking problem, put a bark collar on him, not an e-collar. E-collars for training. Bark collars to keep the motherfuckers quiet.
Right.
Different.
And I mean, personally, I like my dog to bark. I just teach them a quiet. Okay, quiet. Now we're done. Oh, I like my dog to bark. I like my dog to tell me someone's there. I like my dog to alert. Right. You know, but I also like my dog to be a dog.
Yes. People, you can follow Zenith. I'm sorry. You can follow Angela on Zenith TV. I'm sorry. ZenithK9.com. She's on Instagram too. She's on all of social media. You on TikTok as well?
I am.
Oh my God. Yeah. So you got to dial in. You got to dial in. And if you want to follow on Facebook, Zenith K9. She's on TikTok. Look up Zenith K9. She's very reachable. So it can't say there's no good trainers in Vegas, right?
Right. Can't nobody say that.
So I'm serious about that though, about doing that Sunday though. I already got it dialed in. So
let's do it.
All right.
I'm ready. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
I want to say thanks for showing up. What does this person say right here? Like you telling your dog stop. Let's see. It's like telling your dog to stop barking, but it keeps doing it for whatever reason. Then you come to find out that when you open your bedroom door, your house is on fire.
Exactly. He's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you the house is on fire then.
Yeah. Best view. Oh yeah, that's some other stuff. get Spotify too. So when you go live, when you do stuff, the audio uploads too.
Yeah.
Angela, I want to say thank you for coming on to the show. And I look forward to doing some big business with you. Ladderbill, she's over there at Ladderbill Kennels, Gypsy and them, and Gypsy and Butter. I think they found what they need out there. And I think you guys will really do good out there. I'm gonna support you 125%.
They're
And,
definitely great people.
yes, and it's really hard to find good business. Good
It
people
is.
that want to do good business. Everybody want a discount. Everybody want half off, or you give them a price, they agree to it, and then when it's time to pay, I ain't got all this. Listen, I got bills too.
Yeah.
Pay the bill.
For all of us.
Yeah. Anything else you want to leave the podcast and tell the people who are watching? Because this is going to go upload on YouTube where people can watch it, and I'm going to generate some reels, like over 27 reels.
I just want to thank you for having me today. It has definitely been an honor. But if I leave anybody with anything, it's simply train the dog that's in front of you, not the dog that you want him to be. And that's it. If you train the dog that's in front of you, you'll have the best dog.
And I always tell you people, be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time.